Hello, greetings. Welcome to Conversation with Tony Mobley. Today on Conversation with Tony Mobley, you can watch it on YouTube and Conversation with Tony Mobley website. On Conversation with Tony Mobley today, I am talking with Mr. Kenn Jordan, CEO of Elms Park Consultants. This is episode 105 of Conversations with Tony Mobley. Thanks to everyone for being a part of this new journey, powered by Mimo Live. We also want to thank everyone who is a part of the old infrastructure for their contributions to Conversations with Tony Mobley. Tonight is a departure from our regular conversation. We are going to have a lab with Mr. Kenn Jordan. Just sit back and stay tuned and put in your questions. Again, we want to thank the team behind Conversations with Tony Mobley. If you want to ask questions of this lab, please go to conversationwithtonymobley.com. There you can register for my interactive chat courtesy of Alex Lindsay in 090 for the Mukana chat, which is a chat that will let you vote up your questions up and down. And you can go to the website, Conversation with Tony Mobley, and ask your questions. You also can ask your questions in the YouTube chat. And so here we are. And before we get into our lab today, for those who don't know who Kenn Jordan is, I'm going to ask Mr. Jordan just to share a little bit about who he is before we get into the lab. Hello, Kenn, and welcome to Conversations with Tony Mobley.
Hi, Tony.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Yeah, what do I say myself? I help businesses who are online to be more successful by either building business automation tools or making their websites more successful. So it's a very very little description about kind of what we do here.
Fantastic. And I like that background. Can you talk a little bit about that background that you
Ah,
have there?
right. Yeah, it's a very large monitor I have behind me. And so that logo isn't like a normal logo, but it's actually on the screen that's way behind me here. So I thought, yeah, as we're doing a lab and to um, yeah, promote your show, I thought that would be an appropriate background for the show that we're doing today.
Well, I think it looks great. And so we're going to go forward with our lab today. And so do you want to give us a general overview of what you're going to be talking about in the
Yeah.
lab?
Yeah, today we're talking about ChatGPT and its latest update. So this is ChatGPT 4. It is a paid model, but their update they made, I think less than a week ago now, is quite a radical development to make it much easier for anyone to be able to make a very custom version of ChatGPT as a little tool to help them. And that's what we're going to be going through today with ChatGPT 4. I just want to say if you don't have ChatGPT 4 and you would like uh, a free trial to it, I think I've got um, two tokens left. So if you go to Tony's website, conversationswithtonymobley.com, you'll see at the top there is a link. Actually, let me share that screen. There's a link to free access to ChatGPT 4. So if you want to follow along kind of with the lab and you would like access to ChatGPT 4, I think there's a free trial of ChatGPT 4, and I've got a couple of options left. So to be quick. But you go to Tony's site.
And you heard it here. If you want to take advantage of this opportunity to play with ChatGPT 4, you need to go ahead and go to the website, Conversation with Tony Mobley. Thank you, Kenn.
No problem.
All
Okay.
right. So when did the update actually occur? Was it last week?
It was literally just a few days ago. They
Okay.
updated ChatGPT 4. Basically, what they did, ChatGPT 4 had kind of three different models. A kind of data analysis model, where you could, where it would actually be, write scripts and analyze. You can get it to write programs. It had then it released DALI 3 on there. That was separate, and that's the image generator. That's text to image. And what was the other one? Web browsing. So they you could use a version of ChatGPT 4 that could browse the web. What they've done is they've combined all of those three separate models into one. So now you can do, vision analysis, get it to generate a picture, as well as browse the web without having to jump between the different versions of it. Actually, let me share my screen so that you can actually
And
see.
while Kenn is sharing his screen, I want to let everyone know this is a great opportunity to ask your questions. So please ask your questions in Mukana or on YouTube chat, please.
There it is.
Okay.
You can see that now. So the free version, this is ChatGPT 3.5, and the new one here is ChatGPT 4. But so that was one part of the update that they gave. The other part, which is the exciting part, which is the bit that I'm going to delve into now, which I think really is going to, I believe, kind of revolutionize your workflow, because it certainly has mine, is this part here where you can just open side up. There is an option here when you click on the name, My GPTs. If you click on that, that takes you to this screen where you can create your own GPT models. And what we're going to do today is kind of go through on actually how you do that and how you build them. I've built a number of them. There's one here I built specifically for the Tony's show. This enables you to ask any questions, and it has a database of all of Tony's 104 episodes are in here as a transcript from all 104 of those. So you can ask it any questions about the show. So like there's some starter questions here. So share
Okay,
information.
Kenn, can you share how you got the transcript into of all 104 shows
Yes.
into ChatGPT?
Okay. That was using another AI, another free application. This one was. Let me go to I can upgrade my audio if you like. If you need to. Sorry. Yeah, so went to let's go to YouTube. So I went to YouTube, went to your channel, and there's a little plugin, free plugin, a free web extension. You can find it on the in the web extension store. If you're on a Mac, they've got this extension store. It's called Glasp, and let me show you what it does. It comes up then. So on any YouTube video, you get this little box here called transcript and summary. I'll just show you that if I click on this, this just goes to what it is, and that's just the name of this free plugin, which is called Glass. And what that enables you to do, I just click on that. It gives you a free transcript, a full transcript of the whole show, which you can see here. And then you can copy it. So you can copy it, and then that's what I did. So I copied the transcripts and put them all into one, well, a number of documents, and then uploaded those into the GPT, and I'll show you how that was done. So that was a program.
This is fantastic.
That I use for that, and it's a free plugin, and it gives you a full transcript of any show, and you can copy it. And then if you've got ChatGPT, you can click on this button, and it will give you a text summary. Clicking on that, it goes to ChatGPT.
And Ken, can you just share the name of that free app one more time?
Yeah, it's Glasp. GLASP is
all right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the free plugin that's on there. Okay. You've got Zach, your mic is open. Okay. So let me go.
Let me just pause for a quick second. We're hearing you, Zach. We just wanted to let you know we're hearing you. I'm sorry, Ken. Go ahead.
Okay. Right. So go back to the and also a link to this GPT is available on the Tony's website as well. So if you've got GPT-4, then you click on it, and then this is what will appear. Right, but I'm going to show you is how you actually build one of these. So if you go to my GPTs, and then that should take you to this screen here, and then right up at the top, you'll see create a GPT. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do one here. Right. And now it takes you to this screen. So on the left, this is where you input what you want to build. And then on the right, it shows a preview of the GPT that you're going to build. So what would you like to make? So have you got any ideas of what you'd want to make, Tony, or I can come up with some?
I am I'm surprised. So I'm going to let you go ahead and take the lead on this. If something comes to mind, we'll jump in with it.
No problem. So, well, today, for example, I was setting up my my system, and I couldn't remember how to make, as you're seeing me here, I couldn't remember how to make myself in the circle in the on my ATEM. So what I thought was, well, rather than just kind of going and finding that information, when I build a bot to do that, and I'll show you how I built one here. So I would say, you are an expert on black magic, which is the name, ATMs. Okay. So what it does, so this is the kind of just general text input, and what it's doing now is using that behavior. So that behavior is uploaded, and then it's going to ask me questions. Great. We're building a GPT that's an expert on black magic ATEMs. Now let's give it a name. How about ATEM Advisor? Do you like this name, or do you have another suggestion? So yeah, that's a fine name. So I'd say there, that's okay. And now it's generating a profile picture for it. So it's using the DALL-E 3 model that's built in, and now going to make a profile picture, and that's what it's made. And do I like it? Do you want to make any changes? I could say, let's change it so we can just see. Can you make it purple? So if you don't like the name or don't like the profile image, you can get it to regenerate another one. You can actually upload your own profile picture to it. But I found that not to work that well. But anyway, we'll show you how we do that after. So now I've just, so it's updated it and made it more with purple highlights. So that's okay. So I'll go continue. So now it's asking me, how do you want to start? To start, let's think about how detailed the responses should be. Should ATEM Advisor provide detailed technical responses for professional users, or should it offer simpler explanations suitable for beginners? Also, how would you like to handle scenarios where the user level expertise can clear? Now, let's focus on refining the content for ATEM Advisor. How would you like ATEM Advisor to balance technical depth and accessibility in its responses? So basically, it will give you questions if you're not sure what kind of GPT you want. It can ask you questions, and then by you answering those questions, you can refine how it's done. So with this interface, it's doing that. And what it's then doing behind the scenes, or if you're a bit more technical, if you want to, there's the configure side. So from those text prompts, it's kind of building an instruction set, which is here. But if you know an instruction set, if you know what you want it to do, you can just go in and type that in this box here directly. But the Create tab is really designed for, you've got an idea, but you of an automation or a tool or a bot that you would like to make, but you don't have any kind of programming knowledge. You don't need to worry about that now with these. It does the programming from your prompt, and that's what it is. But if you do know a bit of programming, then you can just go right in the back end here and configure it. So, for example, if I wanted to upload my own photo rather than use DALL-E to make it, you can do that here. But I found that I'm sorry.
We have a few people, Ken, who are not familiar with ChatGPT at all, and so when you refer to DALL-E, because I'll get some comments after the show about, well, that was all over my head.
Okay.
So
let me start from scratch. That's actually a very good point, because I jumped straight in to this with the knowledge that if you already knew ChatGPT. let's say you didn't. Let's go to a browser and let's start from scratch. Let me use a new browser here. And so to get access to these, there is, as I said, there's a free version and there's a paid for version. You need the paid for version to do the bots, but there's a you go to the website and we'll provide a link.
And again, what's a bot?
Okay, these are basically they are little digital assistants that can help you to automate a process or to help you, with the writing, or help you. It's like a very sophisticated, but it's your own personal. It's a personal digital assistant, basically, and you can now program one to and customize it to be able to help you. So if you're having to, write an essay on something, and it can help, you can guide you into what to do or how to start, or give you topics or stuff to write. It's
Okay, so let me interrupt you for a quick second, and I apologize.
no, please
I
do, please do.
and so when you say program, you're not really talking about program. You're really talking about um, what's the term for giving the Chat GPT the action, because coding is not really involved. Is that right?
No, there isn't any coding involved with this. It is you.
Prompts. Prompts. That's what I couldn't think of.
It is a prompt. So you're just writing out in just a natural language what you would like it to do, and it interprets that, and then from your natural language that you're writing out. You don't have to write out anything in a special way. It's just, and it will then answer and build the option, build the GPT for you. So the development, or the jump now, is, it's basically level the playing field for everybody. You don't need to be a programmer. You just need to have an idea of what you would like is to build, and write it out, and then it will be able to translate that and into programming, and then build the bot that from that. So
Ken, let me interrupt you for a quick second. Is there a strategy for creating good prompts?
There was before, that was a way of to get the best from this AI model. You would if you crafted a good prompt, you would get better results. That was you would, rather than asking it kind of a general question, if you didn't put a very good prompt, and you get quite a general answer back. So you would, before, when we were using it, we would be very specific in our prompting. We would always tell it, for example, if I'm doing something within WordPress, and I'm looking to build a little plugin, so I would always preface my prompt by saying, you are a WordPress expert with 25 years experience in programming in PHP, and then ask my question of what I want it to build. So that kind of it would then narrow its field, and pull from experts, expert knowledge on WordPress in that example, to be able to build that information. That's what we used to do, and and there was quite a big area, and it still is very useful to learn how to do good prompting. But now, with ChatGPT 4 and these GPTs that it's got, you'll just use natural language. And if you're not sure on best way of asking for it, you can ask it, what's the best way for me? You can ask it, and it will just tell you and guide you through on how to do it. I'm just going to log out this here. So just go to, so the URL to get to this is chat.openai.com, and then that will take you to this login screen, and you can then log in or sign up directly from here to get into it. And I think I've, as I said, if you're, I think I've got, let me just double check that, because I know I had 2 codes remaining. Just
Okay.
check that they're still there.
Okay. And while you're checking on that, we do have a question from Kyle Hammond of Chicago. And his question is, what do you say to people who are very concerned about the displacement of jobs or industries due to AI?
Well, it would be, it's not, it's not presently going to displace those. What it is going to do, those who are using it are going to be almost feel like they have superpower over those in a job that aren't using it. So that's where the biggest disruption would be those who are know how to use it and start using it within their work, because the speed of development, the speed that you can do things now with this tool is really remarkable. And so you would be at you're super advantaged if you know how to use these large language models in your work. So that's really where the initial disruption is going to be. It's just a tool. It's a super powerful tool, but it's still just a tool, and that's where it's going to help you to help you in your job. So that's why I'd recommend you start get on the get on early and start using it, because even if you're not using it, it's being built into the applications already. So, for example, all the Microsoft um, tools from Word, Excel, Outlook, all have have a Chat GPT, have an OpenAI artificial intelligence built into them. So the tools, all the tools, the online tools you're using, they're already going to have those features kind of built in. So the sooner you get and learn and understand them, and then you realize, this is just a really cool tool to use. Um,
I also think that that the Canva software, graphic design software, has a Canva chat
yes,
PPT component to it. And
it
one of the
does.
things I will say in response to Kyle's question is that I think it's important that all of us, regardless to whatever job we may have, be focused on continued professional development. And by that I mean embracing the things that you enjoy doing, and seeing if those things that you enjoy doing can actually turn into a career. And so, of course, I'm I'm a nerdy guy and a geek guy, and I'm very interested in learning this. But I would say that regardless to what you're doing, it's important to embrace um, continued professional development as an individual. Um, Learning is important, and you should never stop wanting to learn new things. So that is my response to Kyle's question. Thank you, Kyle, for asking that question.
Okay, yeah. And you mentioned, Tony, about Canva, and there is, yes, a Canva AI. So if you use Canva, this bot really makes it this GPT really makes it easy in terms of you asking it questions or within here, and then that could link into your Canva account. But let's go back to um, the start here.
Okay. And this you're using, are you using the 4 or the 3.5?
Unfortunately, all of the features, all the GPT part is only available in version 4. Uh,
Okay.
and um there's one free trial left. So which is there's a link to it on Tony's website. So if you go there, um, you can snag the final free trial of ChatGPT 4. So yes, unfortunately, it's only ChatGPT 4 which has the GPTs and the way of building and customizing your own.
And I'll tell you a funny story, Ken. The other day, when I first heard about the upgrade of Chat GPT, I I was just curious because I always wanted to do use the graphic component, and I can't think of the name of it. Starts
Charlie.
with an M.
Oh, oh, Midjourney.
Midjourney, and I
Yes.
always wanted to use Midjourney. So just out of curiosity, I said, um, "Can you create a scary clown?" And it paused for a second, and it says something about a scary clown. I said, "No, I want to see an image of a scary clown." And Ken, it gave me three scary clowns. I mean, I was like, wow, this is amazing. And so I know before I would have to go out to Midjourney or Dolly or something separate, but now it's all included in, as you have already said. But it was just amazing to be able to do it all in one space.
Yes, they've combined all what used to be separate, kind of all in the one place. So you can, um, question it and then generate an image as well, all in the one interface. So yeah, it really has made it. I still have a Midjourney account. I still have a Leonardo account. So there's Midjourney, which those are all text to image generators. That's what Midjourney is, and Leonardo. So there, yes, as Tony just said, you put in a text prompt and then it generates an image. So I still use Midjourney because I believe I like the images that it creates, kind of a more photorealistic and kind of deeper and richer. But 80-90% of my images now I generate with ChatGPT, um, because it does follow your prompt far more closely. And there are things that it's just really, really difficult to do in Midjourney. If you've got a very specific image that you're wanting, um, uh, DALI 3 within um, ChatGPT 4 does a much better job of following that prompt. So yeah,
Okay.
I use the image generator within ChatGPT now. It is it just far more closely follows exactly kind of what you're looking for and what you're looking to generate. So when you're doing a really difficult, really kind of very specific image that you're looking for, the one built into ChatGPT is I find superior to do that.
Why is it important, Ken, for regular people to want to embrace this?
It is, as I said, it's kind of just if you think of it as if you had an assistant beside you that you were you were wanting to help you um, um, within your workflow with any work that you had to do. Um, I think once you start using it, you'll kind of seeing, kind of what when you've got okay, it's the way that we've been trying to get people to think of it, is actually, when you've got a problem, you've got to think, right, I've got to, um, well, for example, I had to build within ChatGPT, I produced 104 separate PDF files of each transcript, and I thought, oh great, now I've got this 104. I'll just go in here and upload them all. But you hit a limit because it can only allow to upload 10 files at once. So I needed to merge all those separate PDFs into one. So I asked ChatGPT the best way of doing this, and it said, could link me to a website where, you can upload them all and it can merge them into one. There's some programming ways you can do it directly on the Mac, but it was quite a complicated process, especially with I had 104. So I went
Okay.
online, uploaded them, and then they wanted to charge me for putting them into one. Then I thought, why didn't I just ask ChatGPT to do that? So I went into here, asked it, can you merge these together? And I made a bot to do it. And it was just simply by me asking it. And then yes. And then, so I used ChatGPT to build me a bot to do it. So another example, like within my workflow, we, when building websites, we always use a format called web. It's a WebP image is the extension rather than a PNG image. It's basically just produces a smaller file, but keeping the image quality. And we use online tools to, to batch process them. But it kind of took me out of the workflow because I'm getting this to generate an image, which produces a beautiful image. And then I, upload it and then convert it. Then I just asked it asked it to convert PNG into a WebP. And it wrote a Pascal program a Python program, sorry, not Pascal, a Python program that converted it. So now I've got a little bot on here that anytime I produce PNGs, it automatically spits out WebP images. So it's almost, there's, since those bots have become available, you can build your own. It's almost any task I kind of get stuck on, or it's quite, it's and I want something to be more automated. I just go here and build one. And so, you're building little tools and these were very much personal for me to be able to do that. So
Ken, I'm sorry. Can you explain the difference? I know you told us what bots are.
mm,
Can you explain the difference between chat PPTs and bots?
okay, that's I missed because someone questioned me about this before, and I forgot to bring it up. I'm just using those terms interchangeably. A bot and they're actually what they're calling their GPTs. Are the
Okay.
this is generative transformed. What are the GPT is it's a generative pre-trained transformers. That's what these are. So they're actually GPTs. I interchanging it with a bot because it's basically just a little program that's running on your machine that's doing a task. So yeah, when I say bot or GPT, it's the same thing. There
Okay.
isn't any difference on that. There are different kinds of bots. Most the which like there's a bot that Google has that searches the web, goes through the web, analyzes your website to put the search results, and then there are bad bots which do do similar kind of things as well. But yeah, sorry, when I say bot or GPT, they're both the same in the context of what we're doing here.
Okay.
All right. So sorry, so going back to this ATEM advisor that I'm building, I so so I've come back to it. So the way to really make it, and the way to really make these kind of more custom to you can upload to it files and data which is relevant to the bot. So was relevant to the GPT. So in this case, I want this to be an expert about ATEMs. So I went to Blackmagic's website to where they've got the ATEMs and downloaded their enormous PDF.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go here, and I can just click on here, get that PDF, which is, I did it on my other machine, so it's not on here. But basically, you go onto here, you click on this paperclip icon, and then that opens up where you can go and download download the upload into it any document, and then it will use that in its knowledge. Let me go to the one that I made earlier so I can show you that, which is.
And we have a question. We have a question from Kahuna, and she says, "For those of us who are uninitiated, please explain what you mean by build a bot."
Okay.
So that's a GPT, right?
Yes. When I'm building a bot, I'm building a GPT, and I apologize, but yeah, when I say bot, it's the same. It's, in this context, it's the same thing, but it's actually what they call it is a GPT. So yeah, I'm creating a GPT, and as I said earlier, the way that you get to that, if you make sure that you're on ChatGPT 4, and down by your name, when you click on your name, it's got my GPTs. You click on that, and then you'll see right at the top here, create a GPT. And that's how, when you click on that, that's the process of that you do to build one. And as I said, it's just natural language. So it just says here, what would you like me to make? And you then put that in, and then away it goes in terms of building that for you. Okay, so let me go to the ATEM wizard that I built earlier, so kind of work backwards from that to show you. Here it is. Right. So this one, again, just asked it to do that. And then if I'll click on the configure button. So this is showing you kind of the behind the scenes of what, when you type in what you want it to do, this is what it then translates that into. But here is where I uploaded the PDF. So this is the full ATEM mini manual, downloaded directly from Blackmagic website. And I also put in here a transcript from a YouTube video where they talked about how to make a circle image, as what you're seeing on here. So this is the real power behind this, because this is now going to pull. So when you ask it a question, it's going to pull that knowledge from these documents. So imagine, you've got your own proprietary documents, and when you then ask the GPT a question, it will look through these documents here and to then extract that answer from. So rather than it going everywhere to look for it, you're focusing it down to looking at the documents. And you can even turn off the web browsing capabilities. So it would only examine your data set to pull answers from. But by turning on the web browsing capabilities, if it can't find anything, if it can't find answer in the data set, then you can do the web browsing and it will go off online to look to answer that question.
Wow,
So
that's amazing.
yeah,
So you're saying that it will take the enormous PDF and search the PDF to give you the answer that you need based on the question that you're asking it.
yes,
That's
yes,
amazing.
yes. So
Absolutely
that's
amazing.
and that's what I did when I built um I said the your bot, Tony, which was because I wanted a way to be able to this was something this was a task that I wanted to do anyway before the the GPT bots became the GPTs became available. Forgive me, I know I do keep coming back and saying bots. Before the GPTs were available, I wanted to be able to, so that on your website you could have a anyone coming to your website, they could use the normal search within the website to find data from your previous shows. That's quite a big task to do. We're still doing it, but now with this assistant here, took me probably a couple of hours to build, and 1 hour 50 minutes of that was in me just literally pulling down all the transcripts. So
Wow.
that's what took the time. The rest of the time was that was all, they then took about 10 minutes then to make this. So
So I'm on the website right now.
right.
So
So what
I'm
you
I'm
yeah,
looking at it and it says Tony's AI Focus Show Assistant.
yes.
And so if I click on that, I can ask it a
What that will
question.
yes, what it will do, click yeah, if you click on it, what it will do, it would fire presently, this isn't fully integrated into the website yet. That's coming. We'll do another follow-up on that because that one requires some code knowledge to be able to do that. And that's a bit more technical, but we will do it. I will, by the end of next week, there will be a little chat bot on the website. Presently,
Okay.
this one is being, you need ChatGPT 4 because when you click on the link that is on there, the Tony's AI Focus Show Assistant, that will open up and come like this. This is what you'll see on your page. So you need ChatGPT 4 presently for to use the bot that's there. But we will now, with the knowledge I've got of building this one, that's easily now transferable across onto your website so you can have your own bot. The benefit of this one here is that there is no charge to you for using it because they require a ChatGPT 4 account, and so there is no cost for having a bot on your own server with this because it's all running locally on theirs with this present one. But really, this is a good test, and that's why there's also a link. Let me actually show that page. Let me share that so you can see what I'm talking about. Go to the web page and so there's a link to the bot. You do need ChatGPT 4 to use it. And on here is a link to a feedback page. So this is a little form that I built. So if you're using it, any kind of feedback, and I've got some, so thank you to the few that have already filled this in. This is just a little form to get for feedback on it to kind of make it better. And also get learnings from this on when we build the one that's on your website. And so I always recommend if you're going to make let me go back actually now to the bots because there's one other big part of this because when you build these, as I said, it is literally just as simple as you just asking and answering the questions here, and it kind of will build it in the background without any knowledge, without you needing any kind of coding knowledge to do that. So you have
Amazing.
this pane on the this left side is where you put in your prompts, and it will build it, and on the right is the output. So you can test it here while you're building it. So if you're typing something in, it's not quite right, you can then query it back and say, this thing isn't working, and then it will kind of go through and fix it. So that's how this works. But up on the top here, this green button here, this is where you can publish it. So you can either publish it just for yourself, or you can make it only to people with a link. So only people that know the link can get to it, or you can make it public. Now, that public access isn't open yet. OpenAI are going to make a GPT store, and the most popular ones that are on there, they're going to do a revenue share with you. So if you've got a great idea of a model you want to build, especially if it's using kind of your own proprietary data, that data isn't seen, it's just used as a source to pull from. You could, I said, make it public, and if it becomes popular, as I said, OpenAI are going to do a revenue share. So if you make a popular,
Wow.
that's another reason why you should jump onto it. That's if you've got something that you want to share. But if you don't want to share it, then it can be, as I said, only to you. So something very personal to you, or just to you and whoever you send the link to. So that's the way. So I've obviously made this.
Ken, I
Me
want to
and
ask you I want to ask you
please
a
do,
question.
please do. This is really
And,
for
s-
you to ask questions.
and so I was watching a TikTok yesterday,
Mm,
and this woman came on and she said, "I am creating." She said bots, and then she said Chat GPTs,
mm.
and she said, "And I am earning $3,000 a month sitting at home." Do you think that that is legitimate?
Well, before this part became available, um, there is a whole industry on. Well, because I know, because we've developed stuff before there was these, where we're using ChatGPT to build to build these models that we then sell on to our clients. So yeah, so it's a new burgeoning industry, but it's you needed programming skills to be able to create them. This has kind of leveled that playing field in doing that. It's a big industry, and there is a lot of money to be made in building, because we call them automation tools. Um, so imagine, though, I won't give specific examples, but it would be for a client that they have a number of they have a lot of data that they're wanting to, that they would normally, to go and pull a book or open up some documents to read through to find certain passages in it. Or even if they put that into a database, the normal kind of searching that they would do, you'd need to know how to write the right search prompt to be able to find and pull that data. What the artificial intelligence is giving you is, you just write it in your own natural language of what you're looking for. It even doesn't have to be worded that well. It can translate that and then be able to pull from that data, but then also present it in a way that's much more readable or usable for you. So in terms of what we do is building business automation tools for clients. The process now, and I'm going to talk myself out of work. With this, you can do it yourself without needing that programming knowledge. Okay, these are still relatively basic, and it's not 100% perfect, because how this works, but it will get you 90% of the way there, of what we would, for what we would do. It get you 95% of the way there. And for simple tasks, it can do it perfectly. So really, what I really want to emphasize and get people to start is start to using it and start playing with it, and you'll soon recognize that it would, it really, can just help you with mundane tasks really quickly, or really creative tasks. It helps us with. As I said, for us now, anytime I've kind of hit oh gosh, I've got to do this, I just come here, go to click on the create, ask that as a question. As I said just now, when I had that issue with the ATEM, and I couldn't remember what way to do it, I just built a bot to do it, and now it's an expert on ATEMs. So anytime I've got a question to ask, I just come here and ask it. So it's all I'm doing is really pulling knowledge that's already out there, but making it, refining it for my needs.
Kenn, we're running out of time, but we definitely need you to come back and
I will come back, and I'll be to share more with this. This was my when you messaged me about this. My main thing of coming on was just literally, I want everyone to play with it, to try it out, because, as I said, there are the tools that you can build with this to help you, and it really, I said, what this does, it kind of democratizes everything, puts it into a level playing field. All you need to do now is, let me switch off this, sorry, go back. All you need to be now is just have an idea of what you're wanting to do.
Wow.
That's all you need to know. You don't need, it's all this now. What this is really going to help is those who've got great ideas but don't know how to execute them. They would have to, hire in a programmer or someone like that to do that. You can get, as I said, almost 100% of the way there, and in some cases easily 100% of the way there, by just going in here and using natural language to build that idea into a tool that you can actually use. That's really where the power of this is going to come. And you're going to see, because it's going to open this up to everybody without the need for that programming understanding, it actually, I can't wait to see what it's done. I've seen already some of the stuff that's been done by people who aren't programmers. They don't have that thought, but they just have an idea. It might be a crazy idea. It might never work, but this is now, but by opening this up for everyone to use, I should really take the fact it's not really everyone, because unfortunately it's still, it is a $20 a month subscription for this service. But if I was you, I would cancel my Netflix or whatever other subscription you've got, because this one will really help you. It would really help you either creatively or just in your work or just coming up with ideas. I would cancel another one of those subscriptions, like Netflix or your Disney Plus or whatever, and not spend the time watching great creatives present. Become one yourself. Become
fantastic.
That's really
fantastic.
Really
thank you so much. This you have already answered the last question. So the last question was, you're speaking to the world. Exactly. What do you want the world to know about this new technology? You've just answered it. So thank you so much. And we are going to definitely have you back very soon.
Yes, I will
to talk about this.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed. And for those who don't know, Kenn is also the creator and designer of Conversation with Tony Mobley website. And he is a professional web designer. And so he's sharing some behind the scenes tools that potential, as he said, he might be putting himself out of work. He's sharing some information on how some people can actually create their own websites. And so we want to thank Kenn so much for coming on tonight and sharing, and looking forward to him coming back very soon. Before I have our closing comments, I do want to share that Ken has also provided a donation page on the Conversation with Tony Mobley website. So if you're wanting to support our conversations, if you're wanting to support the things that we're doing, we ask that you go to conversationwithtonymobley.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and there's an opportunity for you to donate to Conversations with Tony Mobley. And we would appreciate anything that you would like to do in order to help us to continue to have these great conversations. And so we want to say again, thank you all so much for watching. And we want to uh, thank the team behind Conversation with Tony Mobley. Conversation with Tony Mobley is produced by valued audio slash visual professionals who meet daily on Office Hours Global, hosted by Alex Lindsay. Thank you, Mimo Live and YouTube, Conversations with Real People. Stay tuned for new episodes of great conversations with Tony Mobley. And we want to thank everyone for the 100+ episodes of Conversation with Tony Mobley. And we will be back very soon with Mr. Kenn Jordan. And I'm not going to tell you who we're going to have next week, but stay tuned for new and upcoming conversations with Tony Mobley and guests. Take care. God bless. Good night. See you soon. Bye-bye, everyone.